Hey everyone, we're here to unbox our new acquisition, the Sony ZV-E10. It's a new Sony camera. Actually, this is being shot on the camera I had before. I got last March. Today is August. I just got the Sony ZV-1 and I'm using that now to film this unboxing, and I love this camera. Absolutely love it for my live streaming, but the new model came out a few months later and I was able to sell this camera, giving me enough reason and justification to be able to buy a new toy to up the game. And there have been so many videos about the advantages and disadvantages between the two. I love the compact size and the ability to, the simplistic ability of the Sony ZV-1 to do anything, but there's nothing beats the ability to change lenses and to really do more with a bigger sensor. So we got this anew and we're gonna box it for the first time. I got it at pre-order at the price of which is here, and it's a very good deal. If I got it on pre-order, and I just got it today. Getting it pre-order gave me 2 freebies, and these are the SD cards, SanDisk SD cards, 32 gig, 2 cards for this. So that's, freebies are always accepted. As I'm shooting this on the Sony ZV-1, I'm just using the onboard mic. I put the wind muff even if I'm indoors, just to see it out. And we're gonna do a comparison video right after the unboxing. So again, the freebies are here. I also happen to have bought, I bought this with a kit lens. Imagine this price with a kit lens. That's such a good deal. But I also bought a Sigma lens to go with it. So we're gonna try using the kit lens, but also then the Sigma lens, and of course the famous 16mm by f1.4 kit lens. So excited to try this out. And again, what we love about the Sony ZV-E10 is its ability to change lenses. You have the whole host of lenses available to the Sony line at your disposal with such a small frame. There are pros and cons, but I plan to mostly use it not really for vlogging but for content creation, like for live streaming, our live streams for our church. So this is perfectly what we need more than walking. This Sony ZV-1 would have been perfect for vlogging because it's so light and the stability is even better. There's no rolling shutter. But again, I'm going to use it more so for live streaming. So this is the perfect model for that. So let's open this. I opened this already before, but I haven't tried it yet. But today is the day. Okay. So this came via Lazada. I got it from Lazada on pre-order. I paid for it last August 23. So it comes with a customer registration form. So it comes with the typical books and manuals and receipts. Here we go. Put everything aside, clean it up. I have the product showcase on, so anything shown near to it is supposed to focus well. So we also have the wind muff, the attachable wind muff that you put on the lens or on the 3-capsule microphone. This is very good for windy shots. So that's one thing. Oh, you have an adapter. You have a USB-C, yay, from the Sony ZV-1's USB, the old USB. Now I have a USB-C for this new Sony ZV-E10. We have the typical, is this a lanyard or a strap? Sony branded strap. And we have a plug. Because we have, well, we have a charger. Oops. Typical charger, but we actually don't need this. Everyone has many chargers lying around, but it's included anyway. We have the battery. So it has one battery included with it. If you need a picture, you need to see it. I love the product showcase feature. So there you go. So we have one battery for that. It says to be a little more powerful than the existing battery of the ZV-1. So here's the baby included, ready to enjoy. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sony ZV-E10. It's light. It's of course a little heavier than a ZV-1, but lighter than all the other A600, A6000 series. There's this flip screen. There you go. It's very, very similar to the ZV-1. So there you go. This is the kit lens. It comes with a kit lens. There you go. So you can snap that out. There you go. So the on and off rocker. You have an instant button for photos, video, and slow motion. The video capture button. This is the background blur, in one press of a background blur. There's a 3 capsule mic, which is exactly like what we have in the Sony ZV-1. You have more visible hooks for the straps here. The ZV-1 doesn't have this. The zoom rocker here. And this is the mode dial, I think. Yes, seems to be. Then more buttons here, the function button, menu. Again, this isn't a touchscreen for menu options, it's just touchscreen for focusing. Then other buttons like the trash button and the playback button. The trash button, I think, is for the product showcase button as well. And the better placement of the tripod mount, very, very far from the battery mount, which people had a difficult time or a challenge with using the Sony ZV-1. Now here on this side is the speaker button, and these are the ports. So this is the mic in port. Here you go. Here you have the other ports, USB-C, which can easily be plugged into your laptop and instantly used as a webcam. You don't need to download the Sony imaging app anymore. HDMI out, and you have a sound in, so you could hear yourself, which you don't have in the Sony ZV-1. The only gripe about this is these are now at the side of the flip-up screen. So if you're looking at yourself, viewing yourself, you're blocked in a bit by cables sticking out here. So the Sony ZV-1 had it on the other side, so that's one of the cons for this new model, but not a biggie. Getting what you get. So you have a bigger and a better grip than a Sony ZV-1. Obviously, I can't show you the Sony ZV-1. Check all the other videos out there comparing the two exactly, but it's a little bigger, but still light and portable, especially for tripods, if you use tripods for vlogging if you need to. All right, now let's open the lens, the Sigma lens. So it is light on its own. It's a very good deal. I got this for a very good deal because it already had a kit lens, even if I knew that this is the lens I was going to buy. So this is there you go, hefty lens compared to the kit lens, obviously. Again, I got this the 16mm f1.4 aperture lens. Best for the best and creamiest bokeh, and for live streaming and low light. So there you go. So Sigma lens here. So this is what it will look like. Yeah, so we're gonna use this later on. We're gonna try both, first with a kit lens, then with this. So there. So unboxing done. Excited to try these out and play with this. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so this is my setup for live streaming that I normally do. This time I'm using the mic. I checked back the recording in the unboxing using the onboard mics of the Sony ZV-1. It was not good. It was clear. You could hear my voice, but you could hear everything else. So I should have used a directional mic, a shotgun mic. But now I'm using my broadcasting or my podcast mic, the PreSonus Revelator. And this is what I normally use during live streaming. So this is the live streaming setup I have used for the past 5 months since March, since I used the Sony ZV-1. It's a low light setting because I usually shoot at night, but I have ample lighting. I have a backlight here. I have a key light here. So how is it? So it's not bad, right? It's a very crisp recording. It's a very crisp look. Again, there are limitations because this is a compact camera, but although it can pass for a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, but it is a compact camera. So there is a background defocus happening. I pressed that button on the ZV-1, but obviously it isn't really a full bokeh effect. You could read some of the messages in the back. But this is good, right? This is still good. So let's see the difference between this and the newest toy, the Sony ZV-E10. But before that, why don't we check what I did before March? The camera I used to live stream for over the pandemic is the Logitech Brio. It's a simple webcam. It's a 4K webcam, but a webcam. So let's try that out before we try the Sony ZV-E10. So from the Sony ZV-1, let's go to the Logitech Brio. Swing. So now this is using the Logitech Brio. I'm not going to color grade this. This is as is. Using the same exact setup, the same set, the same lighting, the same distance even, and even angle of the camera. So you could see the difference between the Sony ZV-1 and the Logitech Brio, a camera versus a web camera. So again, we hear all the YouTube gurus advise us that it's really good if you're going to do this long term to go for cameras versus web cameras. You have more technology inside. And the Sony ZV-E10 is, we're fortunate because the Sony ZV-E10 is a very affordable entry into the high-tech camera world. Actually, I bought it at the pre-selling price, as I mentioned a while ago, and it's really, really affordable. It's actually the same price as the Sony ZV-1, and this includes a kit lens because I got it at the pre-sale price. So I saw the prices now that it's really out in the market. It went to the regular price, and so I was really fortunate to get it low. But how is this quality? I've been living with this quality for over a year, perhaps, before the Sony ZV-1 came into our lives. It's not bad, actually, compared to any other web camera. This is the top-of-the-line web camera as of the time that I got it. But now we have other options from Elgato and even from Logitech. But now we're going to see, and go back, first of all, to the Sony ZV-1 to give you a quick and instant comparison between that, and the Sony ZV-E10. So many digits, so many codes. So let's go back to the Sony ZV-1. Swing. So before we go to the new camera, the Sony ZV-E10, we're still back at the Sony ZV-1. So you can see literally the difference between the Sony ZV-1 and the Sony ZV-E10. We're going to try, first of all, the kit lens of the Sony ZV-E10. Let's check it out. Swing. Here we have the camera we have been waiting for, the camera of the season, the Sony ZV-E10. So I'm just trying it out. I just unboxed it. So this is my initial take on the settings. I did not go 4K again as to not stress my laptop, but this is the highest settings, 24 FPS. I have it at ISO 1600. That was the ISO setting that gave me zero exposure at this setting. It's a bit yellowish, but my white balance, I did the gray cardin thing. It's at 5800. So this is my initial tweak on it. I did not do the background defocus yet. I'll do it in a while. But this is the look, the same exact position of the ZV-1 and the Logitech Brio. How is it? Hopefully with a bigger sensor and it being a better camera, there's less noise and less grain, which I think the Sony ZV-1 had a little. But how is this? We're going to tweak this a little more, but is it a lot better? Again, I plan to use this for live streaming and this exact position, this exact angle, so I won't worry about carrying it around. So it being on a tripod and even behind my teleprompter should do the trick. Let's try the background defocus. Okay, so now we are at the defocus setting. I just pressed the defocus button. I had to alter the ISO because a while ago it was at 1600, but when I pressed the button during broadcasting or during shooting, the picture was blown out. So I had to go back. I have to go to ISO 640 to give this look. So how's it? Is it blurred enough? It gives a reasonable amount of blur, but not a full blur. But probably it's because of the lens. The lens I'm using right now is a kit lens. And it is, where is that? It is at 16 to 50 mm, f 3.5 to 5.6. So we have bought the Sigma 16 mm f 1.4 lens, 1.4, 1.6, I forgot. But we're going to test that next. But how's this? This in its own, if you use a kit lens, is it a big difference from the Sony ZV-1? Let's compare the two right now. So this is me pretending to talk so that you can see the difference of me talking now and a while ago. So how is the Sony ZV-E10 now versus the Sony ZV-1? So is there a big difference from the two? So how is this? This alone, is this a big difference from the first video that you have seen us record? So hopefully this gives a better setting. Again, this is at 24 FPS. It's 1/50. This doesn't have 1/48, so this is 1/50. And again, this is at ISO 640. So now let's try the final test with using the Sigma 16mm. Let's see the difference between this one and that one. And finally, this is the Sony ZV-E10, but now with the Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens. So how is it? This isn't a I haven't clicked the defocus. It's still as it is still at f5.6. It is at ISO 2000 as well, and the white balance I used when I flash this is 5400. So how is it? Is it a lot better than the kit lens? Is it a lot better than the Brio? Is it a lot better than the Sony ZV-1? So again, I have to tweak a little. I have some lens flaring from here. For some reason, I had to lower the stance from the position the tripod was in, trying to get the exact same look. But how is it? Is it a lot better? Is it a lot cleaner? It being a bigger lens, it brings in a little more light. The mere fact my ISO from ZV-1 was always 400 to 800, but now in the ZV-E10, it's really way past 1000. So is this a lot better? Is there a lot of grain, or is it the same? I think I need to change my lighting scenarios because I think it's very yellow. But you have a comparison from the same lighting from all these four scenes. So how is it? Now let's try the bokeh effect, just pressing the defocus button on the Sony camera and see how the difference looks like. We have the ultimate goal, the prized look. This is the Sony ZV-E10 using the Sigma lens 1.4 f1.4 16mm, but now with the background defocus set clicked on in the Sony ZV-E10, and this is the look I've been looking for. Fully creamy bokeh, fully background blur. Again, I had to reset the ISO. The ISO was shot at the setting it was a while ago, so I had to go the lowest setting ever. It's ISO 100. My white balance is at 5500, and everything else is as is. So how is this look? I have to tweak some lights, but look at that bokeh. Again, you can't read anything anywhere as intended, but that's really the goal. So the focus is here. But look at the fast autofocus. Again, I haven't even turned on product showcase, which is a feature in the Sony ZV-1 and ZV-E10 that you can put any photo or any object in front of the camera and it focuses there. But here I just have to cover my face and it gets that. I don't do that normally anyway, so I don't need to turn it on. But this is the look I've been going for. Again, I have to tweak some lights and stuff, but now you've seen the difference between the Sony ZV-1, the Sony ZV-E10, and the different lenses. So I think this is a lot better. This is more for live streaming. This is more for talking head videos. This is more for preaching and for giving a message to people. So how do you like it? I am fully separated from my background, and is the focus even better? So I think I will have to tweak some lights. I have some practical lights in the back. Is it too bright? I think I have turned on some lights overhead to focus and become my hair light, but I think I'm going to change that and make it fully dark and use lamps to illuminate me strategically. But so far it's this. It's kind of yellow, but we're going to fix that. But at least you have a comparison, a apples to apples comparison of the same scene but using different cameras. So thank you for joining. I hope you learned a lot about the Sony ZV-E10 and its difference between the Sony ZV-1. Again, I'd like to say it is really a very, very good camera, especially for my setting of a live streaming setup. And I'm happy with this. I'm happy I made a shift. I made a jump. I'm happy with the lens I chose, the YouTube famous Sigma 1.4 f1.4 16mm. So thank you for joining us, and join us for other web ventures, other travels. Once we can travel, we will travel. Once the pandemic is over, we will travel again, and I will use this as a vlogging camera, perhaps. But mostly, join us for other tech reviews here at the Wub Life, Wub Ventures, and I hope to see you soon. Waba! Whoa!
That's it.
I got it on video. As a bonus, I just turned off the hair light, and this is the look from a mood lighting, just one key light on my 45 degrees above. So this is a good look, right? It's a good look. It's a moody look. It's a dark and a intimate look. So this could be the look we're going for. Again, I can't see anymore anything in the back. There's fully blurred out light box. I don't have any, I won't use any signs anymore, but this is a nice look. Wab out.